Are we going to have more children?
We're going to have more.
I certainly wasn't told this. How's life? How are my hormones?
I don't know how much you want to go into it on here, but...
What are your top 3 tips for anyone that is trying to conceive?
Has being parents changed your relationship?
I'll be open to that and say that. Like, I found that... Hello everybody and welcome back to our channel. So we have mentioned previously that we wanted to sit down and do a Q&A.
Yeah.
Because we haven't done one of these in ages and we know that obviously there's a lot more of you here now. So yeah, we just thought we'd sit down and do one, and obviously a lot has changed since our
life
last
has
one.
changed like dramatically since we last did a Q&A.
Did we do... I don't think we've done a Q&A since before I was pregnant.
No, we haven't. It's been ages.
The last Q&A we had people being like, when are you having kids? When are you having kids?
We've got a different house, we've got 2 kids and a dog.
It's not ours, by the way.
It's not actually, he's staying here for the time being. You can see him there.
But we're looking after him.
We've got about 20 minutes, half an hour before the boys...
Why is that one so zoomed in, by the way?
Because that's you, that is. That's for you, that angle.
Oh, okay.
So say hi, give him a wave.
Hi. Well, that's so weird.
So yeah, we got about 20 minutes, half an hour before the boys wake, so we thought we'd just do a raw Q&A.
Yeah. So
get yourself a hot drink or a cold drink and sit down and enjoy this. Chuck it on in the background or whatever. Right, let's go. We got so many questions.
Yeah, I didn't realise how many we had until I looked this morning. What is the most surprising thing about becoming parents? Like, so what's something that has kind of taken us by surprise?
Should we go each?
Yeah.
So for me, I know this straight away, it's how like obsessed I am with them and how worried I get about them. Like, I didn't think that I would ever be this worried about something or someone.
Yeah.
Like, I knew I would care about them, obviously, but as soon as they arrived, I was like worried about everything. Like, oh, are they going to be safe? Are they going to be this? Are they going to be that?
You had like a complete switch, didn't you?
It was like, a switch, yeah.
Like, I've not seen you like love, care and worry about something so much.
Yeah.
And like...
Yeah, which has its positives and negatives because for the first few weeks I was an anxious wreck. I didn't want anyone to touch them. I didn't want
anyone to see them.
I didn't want anyone to see them. I
I
didn't want them to be cold. I was like, are they too cold? Are they too hot? What, are they going to die? Are they making this noise?
Every 10 minutes.
I think that's relatively normal, but it definitely brought out an anxious side of me, which I didn't realise I had. What about you?
Mine's completely different. How much they poo? Like, I cannot get over it.
That surprises you?
Yeah. Because, like, us as humans only have, like, go to the toilet once a day.
Yeah, they do poo a lot.
Like, every nappy.
We're changing about...
10 times a day.
Yeah. It's about 20 nappies a day we change.
Yeah.
Roughly.
With both babies, yeah.
Yeah, and they make a hell of a lot of noise when they're going for a poo.
Oh,
they're
that is another thing that surprised me, how much noise a newborn makes. If you're about to have a newborn and you're a first-time parent... Just be prepared for them to just... They may as well be screaming 24/7.
They're
like,
they're so loud.
In fact, they're literally right there, so if you hear them...
You probably hear them, yeah.
Okay, so the most common question we had was, are we going to have more children?
We're going to have more?
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. I think, do you know what? In this moment now, it's kind of hard to picture that because these two are such a handful. But, with that being said, now that we've done this, a single baby...
A baby.
Now that we've had twins, a single baby is a walk in the park.
Hopefully.
I'm sure it will
Mind you though, we've got really good twins.
Yeah, it does depend on...
They are so good. So if we have a singleton and they're like a nightmare.
They'd be like the outcast.
Yeah.
But
yes, we definitely want to have more children. And even before we had the boys, like in the last bit of pregnancy, we had the conversation.
3 was the number we wanted.
Yeah.
I can see us having more, you know.
I can see us having more.
I think like 4 or 5 kids.
And I really want to be pregnant again. Like, I really miss
But not anytime soon,
okay?
Because these 2 are enough. They're a handful.
We need to wait until they're like in school or at least in nursery.
Until they're 30. Right, next one.
How am I recovering after my C-section? So I feel like I need to talk about this because I was absolutely petrified to have a C-section purely because of the recovery and also the process of having a C-section. I think I've spoken about this before. However, the recovery after a C-section has just been amazing. Like, I'm not joking when I tell you that I'm back to my normal pre-pregnancy self. Like, I feel like I can do everything that I could do pre-pregnancy, pre-operation. And I felt like that about 4 days after my operation. I know everybody's recovery is completely different. But apart from it being quite sore to touch, within myself and the things that I was doing. I was up and about like 2-3 days after.
That really surprised me, considering with how she was when she had the operation and the blood loss and stuff. The first 2 days I was like, wow, she's going to be in bed for at least 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But you recovered so fast.
The
I
human
think
body
it was like
amazing.
on day 5 she was like, Fab, can we panel the bedroom? And I was like, slow down a bit. Okay?
Yeah, it was like slow down a bit, but I feel like because towards the end of my pregnancy I couldn't
you
do
had
a lot.
2 weeks of not
like
being able
to be able to feel like nimble again and can move around. I don't know, I was just like, right, what can I get done?
Yeah.
What can I do? But yeah, the recovery was just amazing. Obviously you still have to take it really see, they make so much noise. You have to take it really slow and you have to not push yourself too much, but
I think another thing to add to that is we had help,
so
didn't we,
well.
from family. Like, we didn't have to do any washing or cooking for at least the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
If you had to do that, it would be hard. Obviously, I would have had to do it.
Yeah.
Which would have been difficult because you want to spend all the time with the babies. But
Babies.
we're fortunate that we had help from our family.
Yeah.
Not everyone has that. So, like, your recovery
we did have
would be
a lot,
harder.
yeah. And also as well, like, just to note, because I'm not sure, I certainly wasn't told this after having a C-section, but you're only given, so when you go home, you're only advised to take paracetamol and ibuprofen, and they don't provide it for you. So you've got to provide your own paracetamol and ibuprofen. And I'd stopped all pain relief by day 7. So that just goes to show how quickly the recovery process is after a C-section, after major abdominal surgery.
Yeah.
However, I do understand that loads of people out there didn't have as a speedy recovery.
Yeah, it's individual.
Everybody's individual, but talking from my experience and my experience after what happened during the operation, the recovery was amazing. How do you tell the difference between the boys?
That's quite easy. We thought that they would be like, we wouldn't be able to tell the difference, we'd have to paint their nails or whatever. But they do have differences.
Yeah, I
noticed them straight away. Our family didn't, but now our family can, like, 90% of the time they can say which one's which. So
but only if they're together.
To be honest, if they're not together, I struggle.
Yeah.
If they're in the pram where they're like up top and bottom and they've both got hats on, it's very hard.
Yeah, because the only way we can really tell them apart is their hair and their head shape.
Yeah. Oh no, boys, are you gonna let us finish this video? We might have to do a little ad break.
How old are you both? I'm 27.
I'm 18. No, I'm 26, almost
That's
27.
26. So people are asking about like our routine and stuff, and we'll do a whole video on that because I feel like if we sit down and talk about that now, you're going to be here till midnight.
Yeah,
so.
we're doing a video soon on that, so subscribe if you want to see it.
One for you. What camera do we use vlogging?
Sony ZV-1 is this one, and this one is a Sony a6400. They're all linked in the description, affiliate links if you want to support us and buy a camera.
So this is a good one. How's life?
How's life?
Like, how's life?
Really good. I'm like, it's difficult. It's difficult, but so worth it. Like, it's still an emotional roller coaster for us. Like, you have days having a baby, let alone babies. They give you this false sense of like, okay, we're in a routine.
We've had a good day.
We've had a good night's sleep, and then they'll hit you with
a bad night.
With the we're not even gonna drink this bottle or do anything, or we're gonna scream all night.
At you,
We're only 3 weeks into this, so like we're gonna be figuring it out for the rest of our life. Probably it's gonna change, but we are so content.
Yeah, I feel like this is like what we've. I don't know. I always say this. Like, I feel like this now, my life now, is the reason why I've been put on the.
Yeah, we've always wanted to be
have
parents.
children.
This is like the start of the next. It's weird, isn't it? Because you have like your before kids life, your after kids life.
Yeah.
So I'm certainly content, and like it's so rewarding seeing these boys like change and look at you.
They've just started like recognising me in Fab, like locking onto us, and it's just like
it is the best feeling
magical.
ever. It's like it's now I'm wondering like what was life like before kids.
I know.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. So there's a lot of questions about me returning to work after maternity, and yes, I will be returning. I'm due to return next September to work. Do I miss pregnancy? 1,000,000%, yes.
You were only saying like yesterday, weren't you, that you miss your bump?
Yeah, I really miss my bump. I don't know.
What, you just miss having them in your tummy? I guess it's because they're safe.
I miss that feeling of like being pregnant. I don't know, and I think because I had, in my eyes, I know we had loads of complications looking at the grand scheme of things, but in my eyes, we had such a positive pregnancy.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like I miss that feeling of
Yeah, I told you, didn't I?
Yeah.
All the times we were worrying, I would always say to Al, look, just try and enjoy it, because when they're here, you're probably going to miss being pregnant.
But I did miss being. I always said I was
you
going to
did
miss
enjoy
being
it.
pregnant.
Yeah.
And even towards the end of the pregnancy, although it was hard, there was never a point where I was like, oh, I don't want to be pregnant anymore.
No. That's, yeah. Hey. Oh no.
Okay, who is it?
It's Noah, he's just doing a poo, it's okay.
There's quite a few questions on like how the boys sleep because they co-sleep together. They sleep in the same crib together. We actually have the tutti bambini crib, which is just a normal next to me crib. But both of the boys sleep in there, and they can sleep in there until they're 6 months old.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people have started following us because they're having twins.
Yeah.
So we sleep as together.
Next to the bed.
Next to the bed.
And they're to begin with, they were just swaddled in a blanket.
Yeah.
But now we have the Love to Dream sleep
Swaddled
suits.
sleep suits, and they are 1,000,000% worth.
Yeah, our boys
money.
really like them because they get to have their hands up, but they can't smack each other, and they feel secure.
Yeah.
We were saying yesterday, they start yawning now when we put them in them in the evening.
You put them in the swaddle suits and you put their arms up.
They know
like this, and
that
then
it's
they go,
time for bed. Saying that, they don't always settle straight away, but they definitely help.
It's definitely a
routine.
comfort thing for them though, to be in that. Here's one for you. How are my hormones?
Yours?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I thought they'd be worse. I don't know how much you want to go into it on here, but no, as in like, Ellen was certainly more prone to getting postnatal depression, weren't you?
Yeah, because
just because
there's
of your
history of mental health
in your family.
in my family, so I was like more likely to get postnatal depression. So was being monitored.
Yeah.
By a mental health team, not necessarily because I've got mental health.
It's just to keep
problems,
an eye on you,
but just to keep an eye on me and to have that door open.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, your hormone. I would say you've dealt with it extremely well. Like considering the amount of work it is, it's such a massive change for both of us. But for Elle, it's how I expected you to be. I knew you'd be amazing, an amazing mum, but. Certainly we do have our bickering sessions, always at 3 AM in the morning. It's that feed, you can probably relate if you're parents, but the 3 AM feed is the worst. It's like the one where you're knackered. Last night I actually spilt 2 bottles of breast milk, full ones, back to back.
Like 150 ml of 2 bottles,
and
so 300 ml of breast milk.
I wasn't in the good books, but like that was my own fault. I mean, it's an accident.
And also, may I add, I've got mastitis, so
sore boobies.
Horrendous to pump. I had been up half an hour before these guys pumping. I told Fab not to move, and he did that with the duvet cover, and it went everywhere.
I'm clumsy as it is, so add some tiredness.
If it was formula, I wouldn't care.
But anyway, we're swaying too much here. Let's get away from that. Your hormones have been. You have had your moments where you've been annoyed at me. It's more so Ellen she loves to go out and she loves to go and do stuff.
Not go out in town. Like,
no,
I just
like
love to be
go outside. So that's where we've clashed heads because I am so protective of the boys and I want to be like, look, let's just keep them inside sheltered. But Elle's a primary school teacher. She knows about like exposing kids to. But they're just so young,
kids from stuff.
Yeah, but not
when
they're
become
like
really sicky children.
3 weeks old.
Yeah, but going out for a walk.
Yeah.
10 minutes.
I'm just more cautious than Ellen, and that's where our arguments come into play.
Since becoming parents, what's one thing you've learned about yourselves?
About ourselves?
Yeah. Do you know what mine is?
What?
That my sense of smell.
What?
I don't retch as much as I thought I would at dirty nappies. I have got a horrendous sense of smell. So like, if Fab farts, he gets kicked out of the bed.
No, I think it's improved since having kids.
Like, I'm just a new person. I get pooed on most days. Like, covered in it.
That's by me, let alone the babies. No jokes, that's a bit weird.
And I don't retch.
I don't know what mine is. One thing I've learned about myself.
Yeah.
That I am way more anxious than I felt. I used to be so chill and like not really worry about too much. Now I'm an anxious person.
Yeah.
I mean, I was anxious all through the pregnancy as well.
Yeah, but you're a very anxious.
So I definitely need to learn how to control that a bit.
Yeah. What are your top 3 tips for anyone that is trying to conceive?
Number 1, you both need to be in it together, and
Yeah.
like you both need to fully understand each other's
And the process of it.
the process and the needs of like you're both either in it completely, or if
Yeah.
one of you's not, it's a lot more difficult, isn't it?
Yeah,
We
it's so
certainly
much
had
harder.
times in our journey where I wasn't in it as much as Elle, because I
Yeah.
was getting fed up of it and like the whole change of lifestyle
Yeah.
and not seeing results. But then as soon as I consciously was like, right, let's just fully commit to this, that's when it happened.
Yeah. You've got to both be. All I'm seeing
We're
is
running out of
arms
time.
flying around.
Yeah, we're running out of time.
Okay, so
number
you've got to
two,
be together.
number two is take the supplements that we were taking.
Yeah.
We'll link the video above, but like obviously consult a doctor before you do that. We're not professionals, blah blah blah. But so this worked for so many people. So many people have DM'd us being like, I've taken the same thing for 3 months. And
we
it's
get
worked.
a DM, at least 1 or 2 a week, saying,
of people.
I took the tablets that you suggested and now I'm pregnant.
Mm.
Like, that's no word of a lie. We get so many messages saying,
Yeah, we
I'm
took
pregnant after
like
watching
so
your
many
video.
different ones, didn't
Yeah.
we? And then like these are the ones that work. So that's number 2.
Yeah. And don't listen to people when they say to you, because this is one thing that really drove me mad, is just relax. Just relax and it will happen. No, because if you're going through it and it's not happening for you, it's so hard to relax. Just feel all the feelings that you are feeling and allow yourself to feel that way.
What you need to do
Because-
is talk to people who are in a similar situation
Yeah.
to you, because then you fully, you know, if they tell you relax, it'll happen. You're much more likely to listen to them as opposed to like a random person. You have to relax.
It's the tip. No.
have to be
I am
stress-free.
going to disagree with you here.
Okay.
Because if somebody tells you to relax,
You
and
don't.
it will happen when it will happen, when you're trying to conceive.
It's the worst
It's the
thing.
worst thing that you can hear, because you just want to scream at them. Because do you not think I've tried that? Do you not think I've tried relaxing about it? It's such a frustrating situation to be in when you're trying for a baby and then people are going to you, oh, just relax and then it will happen. Like, especially doctors will tell you that.
Yeah.
And it used to drive me mad, because no, I've tried relaxing. I'm asking you for medical advice.
Yeah, but the thing is, you do need, like, if you're stressed, it's much less
Oh, yeah,
likely.
I'm not saying stress about it, but if you want to have a cry about it,
Oh, of
and
course,
if you want to
yeah.
have a scream at something,
I guess you're
go
saying that
for it.
don't let people like feel like you can't validate your feelings.
Yeah.
Can I do some? Oh my god, big
Did you
fart
hear
there.
that? Somebody's filming me.
How long has Fab got off? There was a few questions about this. The battery.
God. 5 minutes late, let me tell you, didn't I know about it?
Right, we are back. We have got 2
Full babies.
full babies who are we're giving them a cuddle now so that they hopefully go to sleep on us. But right, should we continue
Yeah.
with the questions?
So where did we get to? What were we talking about?
Was it when I was going
Trying
back to work?
conceive. Oh yeah.
Was that the last
Yeah.
question?
But you didn't answer it 'cause
Right.
the battery.
Okay. The company that I work for, Gymshark, are the best in the world, arguably, I would say, in terms of benefits that they give their employees. They're so good, aren't they? And they do look after you. So they've got like one of the best paternity offers, whatever, benefits in the UK, probably the world. So you get 6 weeks off, which I believe is full pay.
Yeah.
I think 6 weeks full pay. I've also booked off some time through holidays, because I thought with newborn twins, when am I going to use my holidays
Yeah.
next year? I'm probably not going to use any. So yeah, I'm actually off until like beginning/mid January, which is
A godsend.
a godsend. It's
Do you
absolutely
not wanna be
amazing.
held? During your trying to conceive journey, did you ever feel like giving up, and how did you continue? Yes.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we touched on that earlier, but it is tough. It is tough, and a lot of people have to try for a lot longer than we did, which I imagine is super tough,
Yeah.
because you have to like almost put your life on pause to try.
Yeah. When
it's-
you're
when you're like properly, when you've got problems.
Yeah.
So yeah, we certainly did feel like giving up, and we were almost about to give up, to be honest. April.
Well, we were giving
We're gonna stop.
giving up because we were starting IVF. We weren't giving up because we were giving up completely
kids.
trying for babies. We were starting the whole process, as you guys know, of going down the route of IVF. So we kind of thought, right, we'll put less pressure on ourselves.
Yeah, we were about to start IVF, but April was the last month of us trying naturally.
Yeah.
We were actually we were going to have a break, weren't we, because of the wedding?
Yeah, we were, but
we weren't going to stop trying.
No.
But like that was the last month where we were going to give up for the time being and just go back to normal life.
Yeah.
And what? Any tips for not?
And how did you continue?
We just had open and honest conversations.
Yeah.
I was literally on the cusp of telling my friends, because one of my friends, Harry, knew, didn't he? But do you remember I was stressing because my friends were organising holidays and stuff.
Yeah.
I wasn't drinking, and they knew that I liked drinking, so I knew that I was stressing me out. So I was about to tell them all. So I would just say, if you've got a close friendship group, maybe consider telling them.
Make people aware.
Make people aware so that you don't feel uncomfortable if you have to, avoid stuff, or hopefully they'll understand and you can
trying for a baby is such a taboo subject because there's such a stigma around that people just think that you're going to be able to conceive straight away.
It's not the case,
if you make other people aware, which is an awkward conversation, but if you make other people aware that like you are trying for a baby and that you're having struggles, it allows people to be a little bit more sensitive around the subject.
Yeah.
Because it's really hard to continue to keep positive when you've got other people being like, well, why can't you do that? Or when are you having babies? Or, if you make people aware and communicate with people, it helps you to continue because you've got that support around you.
Yeah. He's got a loose stray on his top, look.
I know.
Oh.
We'll
have to cut that off after.
How will you juggle everything Christmas Day? Look at him.
He's trying to get to the movies.
He's hungry. We're having our family round here at Christmas Day, so we can literally do nothing and they can do everything for us.
Yeah, we're not really doing gifts. We've bought each other like one or two gifts.
Yeah. One.
Well, I got maybe not one.
Any tips, advice for postpartum? I'm due in 14 weeks. Congratulations. Like, I see my body in a completely different way, and I know that's very cliche, and when I used to hear people say that before I was pregnant, I was like, yeah, whatever. But like, I do, like, your body has just done the ultimate thing and made a baby or made babies. Like, I feel like give yourself some credit, because I feel like a lot of women put so much pressure on themselves to bounce back or to feel normal again. But I just think, I don't know. I think if you're positive about your body, you'll have a positive postpartum. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Like, it's how you view the situation, isn't it? If you're like looking at your body thinking, oh my god, like that's it's not what it used to be.
Yeah.
It's like you're on a new part of life now, so don't dwell on your old part of life, which is easier said than done. But Elle's right, you need to just look at the positive of look what you've just done.
I feel like there's other things as well with postpartum that you might not think about, like the constant bleeding or the sore boobs or the tiredness, or for me, I've had like dizzy spells still. I know I had a lot of it in pregnancy, but like glazed eyes and stuff, and that all comes with obviously after having a baby, and like your hair falls out and stuff. But I think, and as well, your partner needs to be very supportive of it and understand what you're going through, because it's all been about you being pregnant, and then all of a sudden it's all about the babies. And I do feel like the mum gets left out a little bit.
Yeah.
Like we've had to have a few conversations about it.
Yeah, that's what we've struggled with a bit, is like
adjusting
to not giving your attention to just one person, but 3 people.
Yeah.
Like, and as I mentioned earlier, I was really like protective of these 2.
Yeah.
Which maybe meant I neglected you a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm getting used to it. I'm trying.
Because as a mum, you do feel a bit like...
Yeah.
Not left out, but like, no one really cares about me now. But I'm obviously going through a lot of stuff too. In fact, as the mother, you're going through a lot more than the babies are, like in terms of recovering and stuff.
Yeah.
But people do tend to forget about the mum. So if you're around a new mum, go and give her a hug right now, because she needs it. Are they really identical because they look different? Yes.
Scientifically, they
are identical. They're MCDA twins, which means they've come from the same sperm and the same egg, because my eggs split. So yes, they are identical, although they do look different.
They do. We wondered that.
But they only look different when they've not got a hat on.
I think they will grow in. They'll as they grow, they'll look more alike.
Yeah.
I imagine. But
and Noah has had his head down in my pelvis for the majority of the time that he's been growing. So I'm not sure if his head is this shape because he's had his head down. Who do the twins look more like?
I don't know. I don't know. Some people say that Noah looks like me.
Yeah.
And Ari looks like Ellen. Other people say they both look like Ellen. They've definitely got features from both of us. They've got my ears.
Yeah, they've got Fab's ears.
They've got Ellen's eyes. I think they've got my lips.
Yeah.
And Noah's definitely got my head shape.
Yeah.
And they've both got my hair.
They've got your hair because Fab had loads of hair when he was a baby. Okay, there's quite a few about like breastfeeding and stuff, and what I'm doing. So, in case you didn't know, I'm pumping. I said that to the doctor and they're like, you're expressing. So I'm expressing milk for the boys, and I would have liked to have expressed solely for them so that they were exclusively breastfed. However, it was really, I don't know. I couldn't do it basically. I can't produce enough milk for the both of them.
Here he goes.
Yeah. Why not, Mum? So they're combi fed. They're fed formula and they're also fed breast milk. But in terms of how the breastfeeding's been, it's hard. It's really hard. In fact, last night when Fab spilt 300 ml of my breast milk, I was about to give up. I don't know. I keep going in phases, don't I? Of like,
yeah,
I really want to do this, and then I'm like, I can't do this anymore. It's too much.
Which is normal. I think the more tired you are, the less you're going to want to do it.
Yeah.
Because it is like another 20 minutes at night time.
Yeah. Well, you have to pump. If you're going to pump, you have to pump every 3 hours. Otherwise, you get things like mastitis, or you get really hard boobs, and it's really painful. So it's really hard to do that through the night.
And you can't just stop.
No, because
you'll just be in pain then.
Yeah. So
and you can get infection, can't you?
But yeah, the whole I don't know.
You need to do another whole video on it, I think,
Yeah,
because it's such a interesting topic that, like you said, it's taboo. A lot of people will push you to breastfeed, and there's obviously benefits to that. But for us, it just wouldn't have worked. I don't think.
No, I couldn't have done it, and I have tried. I have tried to put them on my breast and feed them. However, it just goes right through me. Like the feeling of having a baby on my breast is like, I don't know if it's just me, but it goes right through me. It makes me feel a really peculiar way. But pumping for us works, doesn't it? And I can pump milk off. But I don't know. I'm being honest now. I don't know how long I'm going to do it for, or how long I can do it for, because I don't know. To me, there's a lot of negatives as well as positives to doing that, and it's a lot of pressure on me. And like, if we ever wanted to go out, it's always like, oh, I've got to fit in not only feeding the boys, but I've also got to fit in pumping. And I know people have said, why don't you just breastfeed? But like I've said, it just...
You just don't. I think the best thing to do is don't be like, I'm set on doing this and that's what I'm going to do. You just have to go with whatever happens.
And the girl who said that has asked, because she's having twins too. So if you're watching this, or if you're watching this and you're also having twins and thinking about doing it, like Fab said, just don't put any pressure on yourself. No one's gonna, well, no decent person will judge you for not feeding your baby's breast milk. If you can do it, then brilliant, but if you can't do it, formula is just as good.
What's the hardest thing about becoming parents?
The lack of sleep.
Definitely the lack of sleep. It's like it hit us like a ton of bricks. The first few weeks were fine. You're just running off adrenaline, aren't you? Like, you're a new parent, you don't want to sleep anyway because you're worried about them. But now we're on like the third, fourth week. It's hitting us because you know how much. If you watch this channel regularly, you know how much we valued sleep. We would get like 8 hours every night, and we'd go to bed super early. So like the difference is massive for us. We probably get like 4 or 5 hours sleep, which that is actually decent. It's better than I thought. Yeah. That's why we're so pushy with them being in a routine and going in their cot and going to bed early, because we just need our sleep. The routine has helped, but it's not the tiredness in the day, is it? No, it's
the tiredness when they wake you up at night, because these two are feeding every 3 hours, and that seems like a long. 3 hours seems like a long time, but they take about an hour to feed. Then I
it's
take
about 40
half
minutes
an hour
to feed them. then half. It's about an hour and a half
Yeah.
in total. So we get, and then it obviously takes you about half an hour to fall back asleep because they're making noises.
Yeah, you're only really getting an hour's sleep.
Hour. So
and
what's
then by
that?
the time you've drifted off.
And it's an hour of broken sleep. You're not fully letting your brain is not going through all the cycles of sleep. Like you're literally just in that light stage. Yeah, it's tough. It really is tough, but you do adapt to it. And like we haven't slept in the day yet. We probably will get to a point where we need to sleep in the day, especially when I'm back at work.
Yeah.
And I won't be able to because I'm working.
Well,
my lunch break will be sleeping. And when they're like, if they're poorly, like Noah had a blocked nose, and we were like on the edge of like calling an ambulance or going to hospital because he was like breathing, struggling to breathe. But we've got a snot sucker, which before having kids I was like, that is disgusting. Yeah. Now I'm like, best thing ever because it relieves them.
It was instant. We
like
just snot sucked his nose. And he was
bogey came out and then he was fine.
Yeah.
But like you do worry about them, and it's like you can't. If they're upset, you're upset.
Yeah.
When they're content, I feel content. It's like you're connected to them, isn't it? Next on the list for the house renovations,
the bedroom.
We've got loads. We've got loads.
The whole house.
Yeah, but I think finish the nursery because that's got like a couple of little bits left, and then the bedroom. I would say look at a bedroom for Ellen. We're gonna panel soon. We're gonna start paneling.
I actually wanted to do that today, but
definitely, yeah. I think we're gonna get the bedroom done because that's obviously where we're spending a lot of our time.
Yeah, and like paint the wardrobes and stuff. I really want to just do that bedroom.
Has being parents changed your relationship? We kind of answered that, didn't we?
Well, I guess it has.
It has.
We bicker a little bit more now.
Yeah, but that is solely down to the lack of sleep, I think.
We always argue at 3 o'clock in the morning.
A lot of how we're feeling is just because of the lack of sleep.
We don't even talk to each other. We're literally like...
Yeah. But we're aware of that. That's the main thing. I feel like that's when relationships break down is because you don't realise...
You don't address it.
You don't understand why you're arguing, and then it just leads to a breakdown. But we are completely open. Do you think you will miss your old life? Greetings from Germany. That's cool. Hello from Germany. Guten Tag. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Guten Tag. I don't know. That's a tough one. Probably the only thing I will miss is just being able to go and do something without having to worry about other people. But
I've missed having Fab's attention all the time,
and
I'll be open to that and say that. Like I found that's one thing I found really hard.
Yeah.
From having a baby is like not. I'm a very cuddly person, and I don't feel like I got really upset because like Fab didn't give me a cuddle and didn't I?
Yeah. But that. We're just. It will. I promise you, I'll give you more attention in a few weeks. No, I'm joking. But that's what I'm saying. We've talked about that now, so like I'm aware of that. You haven't kept that bottled up. Miss.
Like it's like just having a cuddle because now it's like we go to bed and it's because we're so focused on getting sleep.
Yeah,
you just go to bed and go to sleep. Like you don't have like a cuddle. Like when you're just doing things, it's not like you've got time to just have a cuddle or
But that is why this week we're trying to arrange to go for a date night, aren't we?
Yeah.
Like that is important. We need to start doing stuff like that again. Yeah. Would you ever consider a nanny or an assistant? Well, if anyone wants to apply, we'll leave a link down there. We've got family, haven't we, that will help us. Will the boys be a part of your wedding party?
Yes.
Yes, you just wait. They're going to be wearing little tuxedos. And it's going to be cute. They're probably going to be crawling by that point, maybe.
We always wanted to have children before we got married.
Yeah.
Always. It was always the plan, wasn't it?
Yeah. Someone's asked marriage, question mark. A lot of people probably knew.
Oh, yeah.
We are getting married next August. And we haven't... I don't know how we're going to get there at this point, but we will...
In fact, after this, can we sit and look at invitations, please?
No. Oh, invitations.
See, I'm the one who's like, can we do this? And Fab's like,
we
no.
need to sort that out because
You're
I'm not paying
£400
for invitations.
Oh, we are.
No, that is ridiculous. How is Al doing? Can she go gym? 2 weeks.
2 weeks,
until
baby.
She can get back in the gym. You're going to have to take it slow, but that garage is getting converted into a gym in the new year at some point. We've got so many things that we want to do.
Yeah, we just need to don't do anything.
I think that's a big priority.
You're always going, no, not spending that. No, I'm not doing that.
Oh, I know, but it's
and I'm like, come on, let's just do it.
I hate spending money. Is it scary having 2 babies to take care of? It's not scary because we have one each. But I think the thought of us doing it on our own is scary. I
Yeah.
wish we're going to have to face that at some point, because
And we don't know what it's like to have one child.
no, it's just
So it's just normal for us.
yeah. If we would have had one baby and then had twins, it would be a lot more scary. Right, so we're going to end the video there because we need to cook dinner, but there was lots of questions that maybe we'll answer over on our Instagram or something like that, so make sure you follow us. We'll put it on the screen. If you're new here and you've enjoyed this video, hit subscribe, and we love reading all your comments, so make sure you leave a comment down below. Thank you guys for watching. These boys are gonna have a little nap now, and we will see you in Thursday's video.